'Twas in another lifetime, one of toil and blood, when blackness was a virtue and the road was full of mud. I came in from the wilderness, a creature void of form. Come in, she said, I'll give you shelter from the storm. And if I pass this way again, you can rest assured I'll always do my best for her, on that I give my word. In a world of steel-eyed death and men who are fighting to be warm, come in, she said, I'll give you shelter from the storm. Not a word was spoke between us, there was little risk involved. Everything up to that point had been left unresolved. Try imagining a place where it's always safe and warm. Come in, she said, I'll give you shelter from the storm.
Okay, so I called for the Free Hug Army, and they turned up. Here's Free Hugger Mel. Hi,
hey
Mel.
guys.
Here's Free Hugger Tracy. Hi, Tracy.
Hi, how are you?
Here's Free
Hey,
Hugger
Tracy.
Mark. Hi,
Hey,
Mark.
Mark.
Here's Free Hugger Maxine.
Hey, Maxine.
Here's Free Hugger Cheryl.
Hey, Cheryl.
Hi, we're still here
Free
waiting.
Hugger Rebecca.
Whoa!
Here's
Hi,
Free
guys.
Hugger Nicole.
Hello.
And Free Hugger Marie, you're going to have to try and come in again. Free Hugger Marie's having a few problems. Welcome to the show, everybody. Thank you for coming on in this festive season, in this war on Australia. Oh, I look my more dodgy. Don't look good. And behind me, of course, is Scott, who is our security guy, and that's how he looks when he's not getting a hug, and that's how he looks when he is getting a hug. So welcome. Now, I'm going to start with, first off, hearing from Mark. Now, Mark, we'd known each other briefly before the march. You and your mum actually pulled me away, covered in masks, and I thought I was going to get abducted. But but in actual fact, you helped us out. And then I saw you at the march with a free hug sign, and that's where all of this began.
That's right.
There we go. Yeah. What made you do a free hug sign, Mark?
Look, I've been to a couple of the protests.
Hi.
I've been to a couple of the protests just when we're straight out of lockdown, and I'd seen a few great signs, and I kind of thought, what idea can I come up with that can try and break down that?
No, you can send a virtual hug.
Or stay silent.
Yeah, so like I tried to come up with an idea that could challenge those social distancing fear, or like the fear propaganda that was being pushed on us. So I was chatting to a mate, and we thought, what type of sign can we curate to sort of help people out? And then we came up with the idea of free hugs to try and break down those barriers. But I had no idea how it would actually go on the day. And then I was amazed. Like I reckon I got about 1,000 hugs, and
Wow.
it was just nonstop, one after the other. And like you were there when you took my photo, and it was just like my arms were sore that night. It was just constantly just hug. But
I also got a hug.
Yeah, it was an amazing experience. But just to see the emotion in people, because it was 4 weeks out of lockdown, but so many of the people that were hugging me were like, "Thank you so much." Like they were just looking at me straight in the eye. They were so appreciative. So I was blown away.
Well, so I've got my phones on here. There's so we saw that, and then I approached these ladies. Now these ladies are called the Step Family. Cheryl, can you tell us why you're called the Step Family?
Well, we all kind of met on the steps. We didn't know each other at the time. And when we started the step family to protest against the pandemic bill, we just were all random strangers, and then we just turned up every day, and we just are the step family. We're kind of adopted each other as new families. So it's a very true word.
And Mel,
and there's lots of community.
what do you guys offer on the steps? We were talking about it today,
We
Mel.
offer.
Now, Mel, I'll just go to Mel. Mel's a sunflower.
It's
Mel, why are you a
basically
sunflower?
about community. It's a community, so anyone can come, sit down, get a free hug, have a conversation. We quite often have like oracle or healing cards there. We can do that kind of stuff. Yeah, just whatever. Come down and someone will be there.
The thing. Now, going down here, I just come here. Rebecca and Lynn. Now, you've been coming. Where do you come from to the steps?
Morwell.
Morwell. Now, how often do you come to the steps?
Quite a few times.
Quite a
I've
few
lost
times.
count, but yeah.
We've been to all the rallies,
Yeah.
but down to the steps several times during the weeks too. Yeah.
Okay.
Just to support them.
Okay. So anyway, I approached all of them with this idea of, based on Mark's idea of creating a free hug army. And the idea was, what's the slogan? Is it free hug / hashtag free hug army?
Hashtag free hug army. Yeah, this
Healing the divide one hug at a time. So that's it. And so we walk down the sides of the march, trying to get people who are watching the march, not actually the in crowd, even though they hug us as well, but actually people on the outskirts watching us to come across and hug us, and then photograph them. I'll film them hugging and the expression on their faces when they get a hug. Now, Maxine, I'll go with you first because you've been there from the beginning. You are well, let's just say you're an A1 hugger. If we're an army, you're you and Tracy at the top are the SAS of huggers. Tell us how many hugs you've been getting in these marches and how it's been.
Well, I couldn't say how many, but heaps and heaps and heaps. Yeah. And I've even had comments from people saying you're a really good hugger. This is so good. It's what I needed. Things like that. And even people now friending me on Facebook because of my free hugging sign on there.
Oh, really? Have you had any? Bad response? You can say it. You can say we're all adults. It's after bedtime. But how many bad responses have you had to good responses? What's the ratio?
Oh, bad would be minimal compared to good.
Yeah.
Very minimal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot more people are willing to give a hug than say no.
And Tracy, you definitely I mean, you're tiny, and yet you are in there getting hug. How many hugs have you had? Come on, an estimate.
Oh, maybe a couple of hundred, maybe even more than that, because I reckon in one day I think I got 100 hugs. That big
more
rally.
than that.
Oh, unbelievable. It's just
And
beautiful.
how do you feel after a day of being hugged? How do you feel physically, spiritually and stuff like that?
Oh, spiritually and I just emotionally, it just feels wonderful. I could walk on a cloud, I think. It just beautiful feeling.
Yeah.
It's really lovely.
Yeah. And did you have any stories, any special stories of anything that's any one particular hug that has stood out from the others?
There was one, I think, the day then that we walked around after the rally and they were still on stage. I think Maxine was there and you. And we walked up to two ladies that they may have been from Afghanistan or something. And that you asked for a hug and they said, we can't hug men, but we'll hug the women. And we started talking to them and it was just really nice because they said it was great that you approached us because we went through the 9/11 when that happened and we got a lot of abuse. So it was just beautiful that you came up to us, and it really stuck with me that day because they were really lovely women.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there was another time when two men were at a bar, and went up to them and I said, "Would you like a hug?" And he said, "Look, I haven't seen my family for 2 months. I'd love a hug." And I just said, "Well, I'm going to give you 2 hugs for that." So yeah.
Was that the bar where they all literally all these drunken men were lining up for hugs?
No.
That's right. That's another one. There's so many. Yeah. Okay. Now Cheryl, you're the commando. Yeah. You're the commando of hugs because I saw you go across the street by yourself and basically take a lone outpost by yourself, and you did very well. Can you tell us how you were going there? Didn't you actually chase a woman, and you actually said to her she was actually abusing you, and tell us about that. That was hilarious.
So it was when we were on the steps at Occupy Spring Street, and it was really busy. And then they looked down their nose like we were diseased, like they were in their early 20s, about 4, 1 girl and 3 guys. And they walked past us, and then they went up to the right near the lights, and they were still heckling the other people. And she went into the middle of the road, the girl, and she kind of said, "Oh, she wouldn't have anything to do with us," and flipped the bird. So I said, "Oh, I've screamed at the road, you need a hug." And she goes, "Not from you." And she flipped me the bird. I go, "Well, you better run because I'm coming." And I quickly ran down the stairs in my wedged heels across the middle of Spring Street. She was at the Imperial Hotel corner at that time, and I thought she was going to tell me to F off. But she actually put up her arms and she goes, "Well, come on then." So we hugged out, and everyone on the steps was cheering like it was a goal kick. It was really cool.
That's so good.
Nicola, can you hear me?
Hi, I don't know. Can you just see black as well?
I can just see black.
Camera's turned off.
And then I do the cam, turn it off there, and then
leave it there. That's fine. Leave it there. Fine. Okay. Nicola, you actually. I'll see if I can bring up your picture while we talk. It's
then my phone turned off because it got too hot. It was getting hot.
That's okay. That's okay. We've got a picture of you here with James, the supermodel of the Free Hug Army. Yeah. And here you've got. See if this comes up. It's not coming up for some reason. There's a picture here of you with the founder of the Free Hugs. There's
I love that.
There, and I love that shot. Now, Nicole, at the cricket the other day, you actually went on point. You were way down in front of everybody. You were blocking this sort of pathway, and you were just getting hug after hug after hug. How did that feel?
It was nerve-wracking, but at the same time, it was amazing. I don't know. I had to. I kept thinking of, like those people that are in the middle of the shopping centres and try to sign you up to different things, like
World Vision.
There was one. If we have a video, I'm trying to find it. There's a guy called Producer One did it, and there was a guy walking down, 4 or 5 kids walking down with this big sign, and they all had individual letters. Must have been for the cricket, and Nicola basically grabbed them all. And they were all like baffled, and then they were all putting down the signs, and suddenly everyone was hugging. It was a big hug fest.
I don't know what's happening to my internet and stuff. Okay, but
yeah. Do you remember? Can you tell us about the guys with the signs? That was funny.
There was this guy with Peter.
Here she is. I've got a picture here. This is Nicole. I don't know what's happening here. The internet's really bad. If it comes up, it comes up. It's there it is.
There she is. Yeah, that's beautiful.
So that's a beautiful shot. So it's a shot of you with your arms spread going free hug.
To get myself in the zone and go to people and try to spread the positivity. And I was kind of saying, well, yeah, I'm just here to spread the positive vibes and spread the love and bring us back to humanity and stuff like that. And yeah, some people were like, no, thank you and thanks for the offer and kind. And then there were some people that just gave us like gave me like really bad looks and rolled their eyes and said some horrible things, and that it was kind of an emotional roller coaster.
What sort of horrible things? Just out of interest.
Well, one lady, she said to me, she goes, she had 2 young boys next to her as well, and she goes, "I'm a nurse, I don't care about hugs." And I was like, what the hell? Like, how does her brain work? And
can I ask you too, what was it like with those boys holding the sign? There was about 4 or 5 boys with signs, and you basically broke up their line. What was that like?
Yeah, well, it was good. Like, yeah, a couple of them wanted to hug and stuff. I noticed some women were kind of very like just going in and really encouraging for the hugs. But I kept going to people and asking them if they want a hug and telling them why I was doing it, and then they'd go past and say no. And sometimes I'd notice then they'd go past me and then get a hug from someone else anyway. But it was nice just. Yeah, then they would just kind of let themselves relax a bit, and it was good. Yeah. And some people would say, "Oh, not during COVID times," and I'm like, "Well, we're gonna have to live with COVID forever. Like, you can't, I don't know."
Yeah. Can I move in here to Rebecca and Lynn now? Rebecca and Mel, the flower above me. You guys do the camera, but Lynn. What about you? You've been out there hugging away. How's your hug quota going?
Not too bad, actually. You get the odd bird, of course. But not personally to me, I don't think. I just, people, as we're all marching along, you get the odd one. And one woman last week came up to me as she was coming out of the shop and she said, "Would you please move away from the shops?" And I said, "No, we can't." And then Mom yelled there, have a Merry Christmas, lady.
I had one fellow, I think he was drinking, and he actually came up while I was filming, and he saw the front of my T-shirt, and he's put a big hug around me, and he goes, "I like hugging Chinese girls." And I was rather funny.
Now I'm going to move. Let's see, Marie. Marie's got a bit of a dodgy connection. Can you hear me, Free Hugger Marie?
I know. I can
Now, Free Hugger Marie, I have to say, you simply don't take no for an answer. I think you go in. We try them all, and they all say no to us, and then up comes Marie, and you Can you tell us about your technique, Marie? What's the philosophy behind you? You're going to hug me because that's just all there is to it.
That's his frozen.
Marie, maybe you should just try doing with just your audio. Try if you can hear me. Oh, she comes. This one.
Because Nicole is gone, too.
Dodgy internet.
Yeah.
Can you hear me, Marie?
No.
Marie, try switching off your camera and just having audio. See if that works.
Yeah, I can. I'm so.
That's all right, love. Try switching off when you come. Get off again and try switching off your camera and just come on with audio, and that should work. Okay.
All right.
Try that. Now I'm going to go to the camera people. Mel, what's it been like? Right, because the strategy is we want to capture the faces of those being hugged and those around. I mean, what happens, I've noticed, is especially at the cricket and other places now, is that the crowd cheers. Our side cheers because everyone in the background with their ordinary signs are watching us, seeing if we're going to crack it. And then it cheers. And all those around them who don't get hugged or are too frightened to hug, they burst into smiles as well. And suddenly there's just this, it's like the joy from the hug just radiates out immediately. It's actually beautiful. It's
kind of like, it's just a point and shoot. Like if we're doing a march, you basically just point the camera and shoot and hope to get a good picture because the hugs are so quick. But when we were at the cricket the other night, because there was so many, it's like you just look around, and you can sometimes see them approaching. So you just stick your camera up because you've seen them approaching and you just hope it's going to be a hug.
Yeah.
And
Plus, you've also got that great new camera of yours.
Yes, the fancy new camera that takes good photos.
Now, Free Hugger Marie, can you hear me now?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, that's great. Now we've got it. Okay, so maybe now what I was saying was you literally do not take no for an answer. You are the battering ram of hugs. When all the rest of us fail, you go in there and you literally, I'd say 8 out of 10 times, you get it. What is your strategy? What drives you? Why'd you keep hacking away?
Well, people instantaneously they're so fearful at the moment that even you can see it in their eyes that they want to give you a hug, and they instantaneously sort of say no, or you see that their body sort of shudders, and so it's persistent. You just keep gently asking them and telling them not to be fearful, and in the end they just melt. They spread their arms and they fall for the hug, and and you can just see this incredible change in their face. They beam and they're quite happy. They're really happy that they've actually let go of that, and you can see that their whole body changes and off they walk and they thank you.
No, actually, to be honest, because I'm usually with that megaphone. I don't know if you've noticed, and I once you crack one, they don't hug one; they'll hug maybe up to 3 of you.
That's right.
Yeah, it just spreads. They go one, they go the other. They suddenly,
Brilliant.
yeah, it's extraordinary. It really is
People
extraordinary.
melt.
It's such a
They do.
Yeah.
it's such a simple tool, and yet they do. There's as it's going on now. The reason we're coming on tonight is to talk about also this is what we've been doing, and it's working, and it spreads joy. How would you say? Would you say? I don't know. Most people enjoy it, even those who don't hug. It's very rare. We had one guy that got a bit aggressive, and which really surprised me.
Sometimes
But most.
I was just about to say that sometimes you've got little couples and one of the couple will want to hug, and the other will try and pull the other person, their partner, away. And it's either male or the female or whichever. Usually one falters, and then once one person does it, the other embraces as well. Sometimes I've had a threesome. 3 people hugging. So that's a good thing too. Hugging.
Thanks, Marie.
Hugging.
Yeah, we get it, Marie. We get it.
Yeah, good.
Well, you are in the arts, Marie. Now, you can tell me who this guy is. This is when it comes up, it's a beautiful shot. Now, so the reason we're coming on here is not only we're doing it in Melbourne, and we're calling us the Free Hug Army Melbourne, but how easy is this to set up, Mark?
Oh, very easy. Just grab some cardboard and some paper or stickers and just whack together a sign, and then get out there. And
do you have any other weapon other than that sign with love hearts? Is that it? Is that our only weapon?
Pretty much. But a big smile always helps. But it doesn't cost anything to set up.
Open arms.
Just a few stickers, just a good approach.
Oh, here's Nicole. Hey, Nicole.
Oh, she's back.
Hey.
Now coming again. So we got that. All you need to do to set this up is you got a sign. Now, what's the hashtag? Who wants to take how about you, Cheryl? The hashtag that we use.
Hashtag Free Hug Army.
And so what we're saying is if you take the photo and you get a good photo of someone hugging, put it on Instagram, Facebook, wherever you want, but put hashtag Free Hug Army so people link up. That's the other thing before. That's the other thing there. Now, I have to say, everyone here is not unvaccinated. Who's here that's vaccinated? Hands up. And Nicole. So you're one of the vaccinated
Nicola.
things. So it's not Nicola, sorry. So it's not us against them, is it? You're actually
No,
there.
it really is a war against love, I reckon. Yeah, like what Damien says.
100%.
Yeah, he's right. That's what Damien says. It's a war against love. And what side are we on?
The love,
love.
yeah, and try to spread that as much as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's it. So at the moment, this is what it is, because they basically decimated Christmas. I mean, they did a real attack. There's lots of families have ostracized family members. I mean, it's not everyone, but there has been a significant amount. Now they're attacking New Year. So that this New Year, they're saying no kissing. No, Perth is saying no dancing. And all of them are saying no hugging. They don't want you to hug this New Year's Eve.
Too bad.
Too bad. Hug and kiss everybody. Like, who cares? Just do it.
Do it. That's right. Yeah.
Just do it.
Yeah.
I wonder what it'd be like to be arrested for hugging.
So much of their logic doesn't make
Find
sense.
out.
It's ridiculous.
What was that, Nicola? Tell us what
Oh,
you
it's like so
suggested.
much of their logic doesn't even make sense anyway.
No,
And
none of it makes
yeah,
sense.
like even just the term social distancing from the start, it hasn't made sense. Like
No.
it's basically antisocial distancing, and yeah, and me working in disability, I had last year especially, I had to keep, people started to use that word social distance, but the guys I was supporting, they had no idea what that meant, and because it doesn't actually make any sense to them.
No.
And then so yeah, you have to just keep saying physical distance, because that's what actually means. So
I'm just going to put here in the comments now.
That's a good one.
I'm just
The
putting in the
freakies
comments
army.
now. Hold on. Creating a banner, putting it in. So our Facebook is, what is it, Mel?
Facebook.com that one. Free Hug Army.
So look on Facebook and look up the page Free Hug Army and start liking it. I think how many likes are we up to, Mel?
We were over 100 at last check.
And we only put it up a little while ago, didn't we?
Yeah, that was since this morning. We've got an Instagram too.
What's the Instagram?
free_hug_army.
Free_. So we'll leave it up here now. Anybody wants to like the page and saying that Mel can keep an eye on it's going up, it's in the comments, /tug Free Hug Army. We're also getting some t-shirts together. I was going to put them up, but we didn't get it in time. How did I move to the side?
We can't see
That's Cheryl. Cheryl's lost one. Moving to the middle. So we're getting t-shirts together.
Michael, we've still got the photo of you and Chris up.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Is that on Free Hug Army?
Yeah, it's been there for a while.
Take the photo there. We can't see the panel.
Me and Chris. Who was the man that hugged the old Asian man?
Oh, it's on there.
Yeah, that's what.
I hugged another
Tracy.
lady. Yep.
Tracy hugged him, but you also had another blonde woman. I don't know who she was. She just joined on the day. So yeah.
We're going to come here because we just had this. The most beautiful thing was, I just want to talk about this. This was the most moving man that I saw. I'll see where it is. Hold it. Because I was watching you guys going after people, and there was some really weren't coming over, but then there was this man watching. I'll see if I can see him. Here he is. Okay, see this photo comes up, and we're walking down Burke Street. I think it's Burke Street or Burke Road, and Burke Street, yeah. And there was one old Asian man with his mask on, little guy, standing outside, I think a TAB, and he just looked a little bit baffled by it all, and he looked really sad, just even with his eyes. And then I don't know who this lady is. This lady came in and grabbed him and hugged him, and this is what happened to him as soon as he got hugged. That was it.
That lady came up at the end, and I gave her a sign that was left. She joined right at the end. There were no signs left, and I said, "Oh, hang on a minute, check my backpack." She said, "I really want to be in the army," and I said, "Check my backpack," and I had a spare one in my backpack.
Yeah, that's right. So we
now.
now we had Lynn and you guys made a load of extra hug signs. Didn't you?
Yes, we did.
I got
And they-
sunburned.
Oh, we did some for Mel as well.
We
Like the
did,
one
yeah.
that's behind you. We did that sitting on the steps.
Yeah, I gave them the
Oh, the ones-
hard board and they wrote
The teachers protest.
Yeah, and now he but the signs all went, didn't they? We didn't have enough.
We did. We're making more
We've got
for
more.
next time.
We're making more.
So that's what happened. So just tell you, when the first march, there was about us. There was about 7, 8, 9. The next time, the numbers really grew because we brought a lot of extra signs, but people kept coming up to me and going, "I've made a sign. I've made a sign." So it was really significant, and we weren't really social media doing, except I was posting on here, and we were doing the videos. And so I think it would be incredible because so many people want to do action. If we had like 100 or 200 people with free huggers walking in the next march, I think the next march is January the 1st. That would be extraordinary. You know what I mean? It's such an interesting thing of just walking past all these Australians going, "Do you want a hug? First day of the new year. Do you want to start the first day of the new year?" And what is the thing that's dividing us? What anyone can tell you. I'll go with Mark actually. What's the thing?
The fear and the propaganda.
That's what it is.
So, you know, I think it's unfortunate how quickly people have been, I guess, quote unquote, you know, conditioned to the fear. But this is why this movement's so powerful, because we can just slowly try and chip away at that propaganda by just offering a simple free hug.
And do you think it's just fear of the virus, or do you think it's fear of association as well?
I think a bit of both, really. I think, you know, the narrative is that, you know, that you're going to get sick if you go near someone. But I think, yeah, you're right. It's that if you're seen to be sort of the black sheep, you're going to be ostracized by friends and family. So a lot of people sort of don't want to, I guess, have those conversations, do they? Because they're a bit afraid.
That's right.
And why do you think people have done? I'll go with you, Tracy. Why do you think that's happened? Why do you think people have let fear basically allow them to cut out loved ones and stuff? Why have they done that? Any idea?
Well, I think the media really have, media and the government have done that, but it's just like you can be walking down the street and they'll cross the road and walk the other way, out of your way so they don't come near you. It's really awful. So, I blame the media for what they've done. I mean, I've got family members who don't want to see me, and unless I get the jab. So, it's pretty horrible, really.
It's terrible.
And Cheryl, I was there when a lot of police were trying to give you a hug, but you didn't seem to want a hug then. You sort of. I think there was 5 of them. They eventually handcuffed you so they could hug you. So, but you
I didn't get handcuffed. I got dragged off.
But can I ask, how can you go from having society? And in all seriousness, I was sitting behind you in the park when they did that, and I filmed it. I couldn't believe I was watching what I was filming. I just couldn't believe it. And yet you got that happen to you, and yet you come back, you sit on the steps, and you're offering free hugs. You haven't gone. How have you not gone to hate and bitterness?
I don't love the police, and I don't respect them either. But they have a job to do, and it's not about them. They don't mean much to me. It's the people. It's the community that we have, which we do have a community. It doesn't matter. You can turn up at any protest and not know anybody, which is where I was until the Step family. There were many people I didn't know. I would just rock up on my own, and I would just talk to people. I think it's about just being open to not knowing anyone, but being open to talking to someone and embracing someone. And there is no fear with a hug. And I was never a really touchy person. I had trust issues, but a hug is nothing. It's not.
And how many have you had?
Oh, well, when I've had a lot.
How many have you had?
I've had a lot, but I went down the other side of the road when you were all getting photographed, and I got like lots of young kids noticed my sign, teenagey boys, like, I don't know, 16 and above, and I would get them from them. Come on, you want a hug? And they would hug. They would hug. These are 16, 18-year-olds, so they would hug.
Oh, so we're trying to save society.
Older lady.
So we're trying to save society on one side of the street, and you're trying to pick up on the other.
Yeah.
No, they're children. No, but I was like, what about the other side of the road? Because everyone was on one side, so I went on the other side.
Well, that's it.
And
So what we need on January the 1st is we need more free huggers, and you just have free hugs. And we can, if you bring a sign free hug, we'd also like you to put at the bottom #FreeHugArmy.
Yes.
We're not gonna. Yep, that's it. That's it. Thank you for allowing us to use your T-shirt there. Now, the other thing too is we need photographers. We need photographers and videographers. It's really, really just as important. And if we have one photographer for every hugger, that's fantastic. And then what you do is you just concentrate on capturing. I'll see if I bring one up to just show you how. I mean, I know we had that old man. Yeah, so here's some perfect examples of what we. Oh, this is my favorite. I'll start with my favorite last. I'll bring them up in a sec. This is really important because the thing is to show that what society is offering you: division, mask, living in fear, not allowed to say the wrong thing, so you choose silence, and we're offering openness, courage, and hugging. So, and to show, so here's a perfect example. So this is a perfect example of a photographer getting it right. So I don't know who took this one. Tracy, you're also a great photographer for this, but I think this was Mel. Sorry, it's just taking a bit of time to come up. And this
what about Grace? What about Grace?
She's done some footage.
Yeah. Oh, Grace. Yeah, little Grace.
Yeah.
Little
Amazing Grace.
Being that guy. And the other thing too is they literally, and I don't know how she does it because she's tiny, but she somehow gets up there. Now, once we get them together, we put them together in videos, 1 minute to 2 minutes long, of just the first off. We do the stills, and so any musicians out there who can give us royalty-free music, maybe you've got music hanging around that you think is uplifting that would work, we'd welcome it and credit you and stuff like this, and then we put it together. We'll be ending with one of these videos, and then we put it up, and then later on, literally a day or 2 or 3 days later, the videographers get back and they've done more professional things where you see the film of the hugging. You also need a spruiker. So if you can, you get someone with a loud voice or a loudspeaker and someone who goes along just to announce to the crowd what you're doing. And I usually do that. And that's it. That's it. That's how simple it is. And what we're saying is if you're in Sydney, set one up. If you're in Brisbane, set one up. Yeah, and you don't need to even know people. You'll set it up on the day. If you're in Perth, anywhere, anywhere,
if you're overseas.
New Zealand. Yeah, New Year's Eve is important because I'm supposed to go to this beach, but a part of me is thinking, do we actually go there as the Free Hug Army? It'd be great to get some T-shirts. I don't think we will, but I'm definitely taking my sign on New Year's Eve. Yeah. Because
Oh, I could do some
Maxine,
too.
what do you think of the government actually saying for New Year's Eve you can't hug?
Well, I say get stuffed.
Yeah, so do I. Same. Yep.
So here, that's a perfect example of it there. That's a perfect example of a photographer. There's another one. That's another perfect example of a photographer. And this is actually my favorite. This woman hugged me. And look at that.
Oh, yeah,
Look at
lovely.
those eyes.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
That's it. And they actually I actually have had people cry, men and women, actually cry in my arms. Once they're in my arms, they start crying. That's where we are as a society. That's how broken so many people are, and be made to be scared of this cold. So that's it. So we're doing that. The other thing, so we're doing, I think on Redbubble, Mel.
Yeah, Redbubble.
So on Redbubble, we're going to try get some products up there, some T-shirts, mugs, and stuff like this. That'll be for the Melbourne Hug Army. But if you're in Sydney, Perth, wherever you are, country town, you could do the same, and you could have, Free Hug Army Ballarat, Free Hug Army Hobart, and you just basically that'll allow you to get some money in to just pay for whatever you need and stuff like this, because revolutions, and this is going to be a long revolution, need funds.
Oh, okay.
So we need action, which is what's so beautiful about this, and we need funds. And so if you're around the world, if you're watching from anywhere around the world, please share this and tell people basically the battle now is in Melbourne. If Melbourne falls completely and it's under attack, it'll go everywhere. So if you want to help, let it down. And I personally believe the battle is in everybody's heart. The battleground is in everybody's heart. They're trying to get you to remove everyone you love from your heart. So you're just sitting there alone and frightened and this. And that's not how the heart is built. The heart is built to be populated by people. And so this is what we're doing here. It doesn't even have to be family and friends. It can be strangers. Can anyone, Mark, tell me about some of your best hugs?
I think the first day that I did it was that huge protest when there was like 500,000 people, and but there was one older lady. She was a grandma, and along the lines of what you were saying before, when they started crying, like when she hugged me, she just felt compelled to tell me her whole story, and it was incredible. And she said that none of her her children's there anymore. And she's not allowed to see her grandkids, and I couldn't believe it. But just that little action of one simple hug had a massive flow-on effect. And to see this whole movement grow from just one simple little action now into this, and then who knows what it'll grow into, it's quite incredible.
You've done a good job, Mark.
You did great, Mark. You did great. Now, Nicola. Yeah. What was that person you picked up? I saw it in the video. You actually picked up someone.
I ended up picking up 3 different boys, actually.
And we don't mean pick 20s. Up like take home. We mean pick up. You actually lifted them out of the air.
Yeah. So 2 different guys ended up picking me up. And then I thought, oh, well, I could do this too. And then there was a lot of early 20s guys, and weren't that heavy. And so I'm like, well, yeah. And they said yes to a hug, and then I picked him up, and just went back.
What did they do when you put him back down? Is it been a while since they've been picked up by a random
they kind of weren't expecting it and seemed kind of shocked, but it's kind of good. I think the fact that a female is picking them up.
Something too, just around hugs.
Even with Mark was saying, there's the different love languages too, and some people have the physical touch as their love language, and I know that I have it as my number 1 love language. And
that's great.
When people don't have it, then they're missing out on their type of love that they need.
Yeah.
Even if it's just someone holding their hand, or just hand on their shoulder and stuff, and
Mel, put that on the page. Love language. What did you say? Hugs are a part of my love. Hugs are a part of my lung language. Nicola.
I've already taken some notes.
That's good. Now, can I just ask before we go on, because I'm going to move to the 2 girls, the mother and daughter. Why are you a sunflower?
Me.
Well, who else is here?
Oh, I just like to use a filter or a thing because it's just different.
You've got a sunshine face anyway, Mel. So why do you need a sunflower?
Can you show, before you go on, can you show us the pickle?
The pickle.
Now,
all right, hang on. Pickle's coming right up.
What is the thing, the trick that we do with Damo to get him home?
We put sign. Yeah.
What do we do?
The sign above his head.
Yeah, behind his
Hey
head, yeah.
guys.
Yeah. He doesn't know it's real.
Now, remember this, Damien Richardson comes along. He does accept hugs, but he's a bit awkward holding the hug sign. So what we do, and the first happened at the Christmas carols for the unvaccinated. He was there standing at the front having a discussion, and some random stranger, me, held the free hug sign above his head. And suddenly he's getting baffled because people were lining up to hug him. Women, men, children, lots of children. He's like, what's going on? There were loads. And then he looked around and said, bastard. And, but so keep an eye out for Damien, because you're absolutely allowed to hug him. Don't worry, he's got a sign or not. He's in it.
And even if he calls you a stalker,
Yes.
it doesn't matter. He calls me his stalker, so.
Damien really loves a hug, so yeah, if you see him, just go up and hug him.
Yeah.
You'll
Can
love
I
it.
ask you too, Cheryl, because I know,
I got
Cheryl,
one
you've
out
been
of
through a
my
lot. How do you feel at the end of the day after you've done all these hugs? Because I know you said you have, issues. So how do you feel at the end of the day getting so many hugs?
I think it's when people are in this depressive state because they're ostracized, being on that side and feeling like we are ostracized. By giving someone a hug, you're actually hugging yourself, because I believe we are one. We are each other. So by hugging them, I'm hugging myself, and vice versa, and it makes you feel good.
Good, just good. You don't want to add some extra adjectives or adverbs?
Wonderful. No, I'll refrain and be a lady today.
Now again,
Today, just
there's
today.
a possibility. I have to say this: there is one danger to this. Do you think there's a possibility of any romance? If you hug someone and they happen to be, say, your mythical soulmate, do you think there's a thing that something could spark? Anyone? I'll start with Maxine.
Possible. It's possible.
Well,
You
the
know.
guy, one of the guys at the pub, he was about 30. He goes, "You're a really good hugger," but I wasn't going to go any further because it was like, he was so young. But it was nice to get a compliment like that, I guess. So
I would be saying, are you vaxxed?
You have
I'm not an unvaxxed person for me.
So
So he'd have to
Maxine,
be unvaxxed.
out of interest, Maxine, your soulmate has to come within a certain age demographic, not too old, not too young.
I don't know. I'd have to see what happens, but who knows what's out there? Like there's hundreds of thousands of people that protest and hugging and all that. So who knows? You might meet your soulmate out there. You might not, but would be good if you did.
It's a possibility, isn't it? Yeah.
Now, Mark, I know
Anything
this
is
isn't a thing,
possible.
but Mark, one of the things here, one of the really brooding questions is, are you single?
I am.
He's single. I've tried to match him up.
I'm just leaving it there. I'm just leaving it there on the thing. Here's a man. Can we see your sign?
How can you be single, Mark?
Here he is. This could be the most single hugged Australian in Melbourne at the moment.
And he's single.
Yeah, and he's a lovely guy. And how many of you are single? I know Nicola's with someone, but everyone else is available. And we're not doing this.
No, I'm married.
I'm married here. It's not a Tinder thing. It's not a Tinder thing. But just knowing that, the heart's are mysterious things. Your heart. I often say that your heart is like half a jigsaw piece, and then who knows? You come along and you meet the other jigsaw piece.
Yeah, that's it.
Usually they're from another jigsaw altogether, and that's why it doesn't work. But the possibility is there.
Yeah. That's it.
So let's look at the things. You get to hug a lot of people. You get to now. How many of you caught COVID from the hug?
None.
No.
Zero.
Not me.
You can't catch COVID because you can't catch a virus.
That's it. Amen.
No.
So you can't really catch it.
You can't catch a virus. No.
You can make literally as Mark said, you could literally make 1,000 other Australians, a lot of them very down, smile.
Yeah.
So there's
Yes.
another point to it.
Mhm.
It takes you, how much money did you spend on that sign, Mark?
Do you mean the original one? Yeah.
The original one, yeah.
Well, nothing, because I had the white MDF board in the garage. Those stickers were from my mum. She had a whole bag of them, the little sparkly ones. And my mum helped me actually do all the writing. She's really good at bubble writing. So the cost was zero. And,
So the cost of joining the Free Hug Army is zero.
That's right.
So it's like Facebook. It's free to join.
Yeah.
And so we've got catch it this, hugs this, and there's just a little chance, like a 10, 15, 20% chance you might accidentally hug your soulmate, and there might be some romance for it. So what are the
You never know.
Has anyone got a downside? Anyone got a bad point to this?
No.
You have to that's it.
Not in the hugging, but some protection.
Sorry, what was the question?
I've mentioned all the good points, but is there any bad points to being a part of the Free Hug Army?
No. It was a bit of an emotional roller coaster. Like some people even just rolling their eyes or saying something negative, but then the next person you hug, you can see that it made their day. So no,
the good will
I don't
always
think at all.
outweigh the bad.
Exactly.
It kind of makes our day as well.
Yeah,
It makes our day as well. I mean,
You
it's
know-
lovely. Lovely
Some
feeling.
of
at the
the-
end.
Yeah, is that the same for you? That's at the end of the day?
Who are you talking
Sorry?
to?
You.
Who?
Rebecca and Becca's mum.
Oh, yes. It is.
Where'd they come
That's
from?
lovely. It's a lovely feeling. At the end of the day, it feels lovely. It does, yeah.
I'll tell you my favorite hug is so I'm there doing the spruiking and politely asking people to hug. And then you guys are all out there doing the hugs and going after everyone. Oh, we're missing someone. Who we're missing? Who's the other woman with the glasses?
Marie.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Henrina.
I'm sorry she's not here, because she's a powerful hugger as well. And then this huge man came over, and for a moment I was actually a little scared. And then he just grabbed me. I went, oh. And he just said, love what you're doing. Love what you're doing.
I don't know if I got
And it was a great hug. I was like, thanks. Just,
Did you hug the fellow in the box the other day?
Yeah, the guy at the.
I did.
I did. Well, me too.
who's the
No,
guy
The
with the
Mike-
naked man in the box.
Mike
Yeah,
was
he
refusing
No,
to hug
had
you.
a cardboard box and he had a big leaf on the front.
So just let the audience know that a man turned up basically naked, I think, and all he was wearing was a box.
Cardboard
Okay.
And
box.
he wanted
Oh,
hugs.
no.
On the front.
Yeah, I refused to hug him. There's limits. Limits. I don't know about Mark. Mark, did you hug the guy in the box?
I didn't get a chance to.
Mum's
Yeah,
right.
see, my
think
courage has
Marie
limits.
hugged
I'm
him.
not that brave enough.
I
But
hugged him and he was very sweaty.
who else hugged the guy in the
But
box?
he was a tight hugger.
I did.
He was a
Tracy,
tight hugger.
I think I
Tracy,
did.
did
I'm
you
not
hug?
sure. I
Yes,
think I
you
did.
Yes,
I
you
did, yeah.
Maxine,
No, he was
You
away
hug
from
the
the
guy in the box?
side.
You did. You two, the hugger pair. You hugged the guy in the box. Maxine, Rebecca, and
I
Mum.
did. No, I
Yeah, I
did.
did.
You
Rebecca
did?
didn't, I did.
I was filming
Yes,
it.
Bill.
I'm trying to. I
So
don't
there
know.
you go. How about you, Nicola? Nicola, did you hug the guy in the box? So there you go. Even if you turn up naked, just wearing a box, you're still going to get free hugs. That's how determined this army is
I mean, if
to
he'd
heal the
been
divide.
totally
Sorry,
naked,
no, I didn't.
No,
if he
Nothing
was
stopped
naked totally, he wouldn't have got one.
no.
I'm sorry, Marie is having trouble trying to come in, so I'm really sorry for Marie. I think
Yeah.
she's just keeps plugging coming this. Anyway, so back to what we're saying. Basically, we're going to be at the marches coming up. We're looking for people to join us. It's a lot of fun. You end the day just feeling fantastic. Fantastic. And,
let's sorry.
And I think you feel fantastic because you just make so many people move. You just entertain them. You just leave so many smiles everywhere. You know, it's like, and especially with all this tyranny coming on. I just want to pick a big shout out to this one of our photographers, who's I'll just see when she comes up.
Grace.
Yeah, she's up.
Marie. There she is. That's Grace.
Oh,
Grace is standing on a box there. She's only about about 3 foot high, 4 foot high.
Oh, I'm short again, and she's about
But she's a tough fighter. Anyway, so that's what we're offering, and we want to spread. And what happens? This is the other thing that I saw. You go up to a group, and they're all reluctant, and then one will hug, and then suddenly others will hug, and it spreads. It spreads faster than
Chain
Omicron.
reaction. Yep.
And the other thing, not only does it spread faster than the Omicron, but people want to be reinfected, so they go to others to get hugged. That's delicious. The courage spreads. Now, what else? There's one other thing going through. So
So we're hoping.
Who hugged the little Asian girl? Her mother was hesitant. The family.
I think.
Was that you?
Yeah, there was a few of us, I think.
But there was one little Asian girl that came forward from her family, and then they let her hug, and then
no, that's still enough.
Yeah, I
And then
believe
the
that
whole
was
family
Tracy,
hug.
'cause I got photos of that.
Yeah. She was beautiful. She just came out with open arms and just gorgeous. But I know the kids, all the kids do that. Like they get up and come towards you and they want to hug you. So I
There
really
was
love
one
it.
little girl. I think it was the week before. One little girl.
I had one couple that.
Wait on, just let sorry, Nicola. Rebecca, you go first.
Yeah, there was one little girl at the State Library the week before, and she saw Michael with his sign, and she was going to try and hug him, and her mum grabbed her and pulled her. No, if you go near them, you'll get sick.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Unbelievable.
That's just shocking.
But this is just a fear thing again. It's all.
What happened, Nicola? What were you going to say?
Oh, so like there was one couple, like Indian like looking couple, and then they sent their little boy, like maybe about 6 or 7, towards me, and then encouraging him to come and give me a hug, and then they were taking a photo of him. Yeah, there's still very good people out there.
Yeah,
and I guess what we're trying to do is spread the love, and it, and then like more people see that other people are hugging, and then they think it's okay, which it is. But it's the same as like if you go into like a cafe or something to get something, and then people notice some people aren't wearing a mask, and then then they end up, other people take off their mask or in a shop or whatever. It's we're kind of.
I don't wear one anymore.
Yeah, like we're all like, people just follow compliance just because.
Yeah.
Then,
because it is. Yeah.
Because it's
Okay, well that's it
brains.
for now.
That's why
We're going to
they
wrap it up
comply.
there. Thanks so much for having a lovely night. I'll see you all. I'm going to the beach on New Year's Eve. I don't know who's going there.
Yes.
Thank you, Michael.
Yeah, cool. And I'm going. But watch out at the marches, at the protesters. The Free Hug Army is coming, and it's spreading, and we're heading to invade your arms. Free hugs. Free hugs.
Yeah, so
And I have to say, girls and gentlemen, it's an absolutely wonderful thing to be a part of. It really is.
Oh, I love it.
I was
Love it.
supposed to be emceeing one of the
We're
last
finding our tribe.
protests, and I just left it to Damien because I was walking around just hugging people with you guys. So it's a real action. People want to do action. This is a real simple action that has a profound effect on people's lives. So thank you all, and thank you, Mark. It's
just
it's-
before we go,
And Mark, like it's just so simple. But, yeah.
Mel, go ahead, Mel.
Yeah, just before we go, I've seen a lot of comments asking about when the next march is. So it's Saturday the 1st. It's a Rise Up Victoria march, meeting at Parliament at 12, marching to South Bank, and then there'll be an anti-segregation picnic along the river, and then some more marching.
And who will be there?
Yes, the Hug Army will be there.
Free Hug Army.
We'll be there.
Hashtag
Free Hug Army.
I didn't hear you. Hashtag. Here's our video. Here's one of our videos. Stay in the studio. Get back. Good night, Australia.
Good night.
Bye.
And you call me insane.
This singer is Candy Rag, the songwriter. She's stunning.
But who am I and words to say. I'm not alone, that's all it would take. You don't hear me, those words are too hard. I swallowed them whole till I could explode now, bursting at the seams. Who am I? Your sister, your daughter. I'm nothing, so I'm standing here unraveling, so can I start all over again? Can I start all over again? 'Cause I fucked it up this time. So can I start all